You started with El Camino. Is that nearby and close to you? Because I know you mentioned too you wanted something close proximity to be able to come home and spend time with your family as well.
It's not close, but it's not far either. It's like kind of like my max. I really don't want to work in downtown LA. I like dread downtown LA. I go when I need to,
Okay.
but I don't want to.
Okay.
So thank God I don't think there's any schools down there. So it's good enough. It's a good enough distance for me.
Okay. In downtown LA, is it how far it is, or is it another factor that makes it like we don't want that?
To drive the way the streets are set up, the one ways and go that way.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
It gets confusing.
Okay. Okay. So somewhere easy to navigate
yes.
and close enough to home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there any other schools that you can think of in your area that maybe you can approach or reach out to?
There's Long Beach City College,
okay.
But I didn't see anything. So maybe that database that you give me, maybe I'll see something there.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything there. And then I also tried the school that I used to go to see if they had any positions open. I wish I would have found one, but they didn't have anything open at the time. So I'm just still looking. But either way, I still have a decision to make. Either I'm going to take the job no matter the hours and leave the other job alone, or I'm going to only look for part-time work. And that's the thing that I'm struggling with.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that struggle a little bit. What would be the determining factor, for you to take another job over the job you have, even with the 6-month difficulty?
I don't know, because I've seen some really good pay. That would put me beyond where I thought I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I guess I have that loyalty thing that, you hired me for a job and that means you have to find someone else. And, I don't plan on quitting like right away. So that's my reasoning. Like if you give them 2 weeks notice, they'll find someone else in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is to me, I'm being disloyal by even searching. Like, I don't do it on company time. I do it at home. But even at home, I'm thinking like, okay, am I being disloyal by looking for another job? Mm-hmm. And they was, gracious to give me one.
Okay. So integrity and loyalty sounds like it's really important to you, and really kind of honoring your word to commit to that workplace for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for you, looking for another job, on the other hand, is a part of you also kind of supporting yourself and taking care of your needs, because it does sound like from what you described that the job you do have is not meeting the financial requirements to care for your family.
Yeah.
So I understand how you can feel torn between the two places of being loyal to over here and staying for a year, but then my family's in need, or doing what it takes to take care of my family, but I have to leave them this job in need of someone else. So I can understand that dilemma.
And it's the same work. And I try to rationalize it on the other end. I'm getting paid more money for the exact same work that I do right now. So I'm like, but I don't want to leave. It's not been a year yet. If it was a year, I would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would be searching, and if I find something, here's my 2 weeks notice. But since it's so early, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have any knowledge of, an idea of how long the freeze will be, or is it just, you guys just have to wait and see?
It's like a wait and see deal.
Okay.
We get different information every day.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that one day soon that they're saying, because one thing I do like about the company is that they move up within. I like about the company that they're very strong on family values. So like if you have something to do with your kid, they have a program or a concert, they'll allow you to go and it's paid time.
Okay.
So I like that. Not very many companies do that. And so that's where I struggle, because it's like, okay, they have all these great values, but I can't afford to stay here. So.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any opportunity within your current position for extra hours or any type of extra compensation for different tasks or duties?
I did ask. I asked on Friday about that, and he did give me a couple more hours to work on a Saturday. I did work on a Saturday, but I don't want to work on a Saturday again, because that that was a boundary that I had set and I had broken. And now that I see that I work Monday through Saturday and it affected my daughter just that quick in a week.
Okay.
And so now she's like extra clingy and she's like, I want to go with you, don't go to work.
Yeah.
Because Saturdays is usually our day.
Yeah.
And so now she's feeling like her day is taken away.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to affect her. So, because I got back, I worked from 8 to 1. Mm-hmm. So it was still daylight, it was still afternoon, and she was very upset about that.
Okay. So it was robbing you of your family time. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know you mentioned that it was important for you to have Saturday and Sunday as family time because of how your work schedule is set up. Mm-hmm. And I know you were saying, something about your husband and you having different schedule times, and how does that play a factor with working Saturday also with your husband?
He's actually, his schedule just changed. He's off Friday and Saturday now. Mm-hmm. So, which would make Saturday family day better because he doesn't have to work.
Right.
And so then I had to work. And so I'm like, I kind of took that away from both of them. Okay. And so, he works really long hours and really tired during the times that he does work. So, it does affect him as well because, we didn't get the whole day like we were supposed to.
Yeah. Okay, so, it sounds like, you're having a lot of things to consider, and you've had an opportunity to try, extending your days at the job, but with it going into your weekend, it's now affecting another important value for you, which is your family. Mm-hmm. And so now it's kind of back to the same place, like, okay, what can you do in this circumstance? I'm wondering if there's other unexplored options for work that maybe we haven't considered. I know that you mentioned that you do a lot of like entrepreneurial things and creative ventures. Could you tell me more about those?
Well, I was actually thinking about opening up an Etsy shop with I do like crochet and making like scarves and different things, purses and stuff. Yeah. I was thinking about opening up that shop and see how that works, but it's hard to get the clientele, and that's where I fear that I have all this inventory and no one purchases it, and then that's time and that's money that's wasted. Yeah. And then I'm back at the same point that I am. So I want to do it, but then I get concerned, like, what if the profit doesn't come?
Okay, so it's a little bit of that fear, like, will this go through? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you mentioned how it is hard to get the clientele. Have you tried something like this before?
I did a long time ago, very long time ago. I can't even remember when. I did scarves and hats for the winter season, for Christmas, as Christmas gifts, and it started off pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then, you have those people who start a fire, like start something, and then everyone else is like agreeing. And so one person decided that they felt like the scarf should be longer. Mm-hmm. And so then that created a whole nother issue. And so I'm like, well, for that, you have to charge extra because that's more work. Mm-hmm. And then it became like a big deal. And then the clientele dropped. Mm-hmm. And then now what? Well, I revisited that same person because we're still friends. And she goes, oh, yeah, I still have your scarf that you made so many years ago. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you stopped my business. Mm-hmm. But, so, I don't know. I keep going back and forth, like, should you try it and see? Mm-hmm. And then it's back to, well, what if it doesn't work? And then I thought, well, if it doesn't work, maybe I could donate it somewhere so it's not all lost.